everyone. I'm Melissa Marcum from Zodiac Zone. So let's just get right into it tonight. Tonight is a full moon in Aries. And I have to say that it's really kind of a hard moon compared to other full moons. I would suggest that you don't manifest during this moon because anything in Mars can indicate anger. It could indicate, in a lot of ways, violence. I would pretty much bet that the hospitals tonight are going to be loaded with people, unfortunately, as far as accidents or some kind of dispute, something like that. It's just not the kind of moon to really manifest in, per se. But on the polarity, Mars could also promote passion and, um, hardworking, as far as, very um, driven into what you're trying to accomplish. So when we look at signs and we look at anything with astrology, we always have to look at the polarity of things. People ask me all the time, what signs are good, what signs are bad. There's always the good and the bad, the polarity to every sign. And when we look at that and how they're represented, that is what we look at. So I would say the whole thing with the moon tonight is to release, because full moons are always about releasing something. Um, so it's really about releasing things that either annoy you, anger you, you're not feeling passionate about. Um, and people can trigger these things inside of you. So just think about things before you make rash decisions, and um, always look at the spiritual aspect of things. I just was doing a reading tonight. I told my client, I said, it's always best to look at the spiritual aspect of things, because we get so caught in the human day-to-day things that we have to look at things that there's always a purpose and reason. And people sign soul contracts. So even intuitively, if you're feeling your child, your loved one, your mother, your sister, they're with the wrong person, they sign that contract together. So they're both supposed to get something out of it. And it's always for the evolution of the soul. So that's what I tell people, and it's really hard too when it's connected to you. If your child, your relative, your sister, brother, whatever the situation may be. So with that, I would say just, do what I said, as far as just release things that anger you. That is the message with tonight's moon. Oops. Huh? Um, anyway, so let's take a caller. We're going to have Angela from New York City. How are you, Angela?
Hi. Good. How are you?
Good. Have you ever had an astrology reading?
Yes, I have.
Okay. So what I am is an evolutionary vibrational astrologer. I'm really going to look at the sole purpose of why you're here and really understand what are some of the aspects in your chart and things that are holding you back from living your best life.
Okay.
What is your birthday, day, month, year?
May 4th, 1980.
May 4th, 1980. And the time you were born?
I think it was like 10:31
10:31
a.m.
a.m. a.m.
Yes.
Okay. And the city, state?
Flushing, New York.
Flushing, New York?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. I got that. Okay. So, like I said, I'm going to look at the sole purpose of why you're here. Um, I would say this. If I look at your aspects, you're a south node I'm sorry, I'll back up. I'm going to look at the nodes, which are elliptical points in the sky. They're very karmic. The south node represents previous lives, it represents early childhood, it represents energy that we already know. Um, and the purpose is to get to our highest vibration, which is the north node, which is the polarity of energy. So you have your south nodes in Virgo in the second house of Taurus, and that rules your money, self worth. A house can rule 40 or 50 different things, but us astrologers tend to focus on the main things. Um, the North Node is in Pisces in the eighth house. And I would say that you're very security driven, right?
Yes.
You're, and you probably worry a lot. A South Node in Virgo worries. They are considered the
Yes.
warriors of the universe, things and sometimes it can be useless worrying about finances, worrying about your own, your self-worth. Am I enough? Am I good enough to do these things? You know?
Yeah.
So I would say the purpose for you, and there's a very good sign, and it's basically about letting that shit go. And I would have that sign somewhere in your house where you can look at it every day because it's really about letting the universe take charge, using your intuition, you know, transforming all this stuff that does not work for you anymore, and that is where you're going to find your purposeful activities. You have the sun in the seventh house, so career is very important to you. You have Venus there and the moon there. So I feel like your reputation, all of that is very important to you, and it's really important for you to do what you love, what you feel passionate about, and to make money since it's all in Taurus. Your Chiron, when I talk about Chiron, is the wounded healer. It is in Greek mythology, it's considered a small planet or asteroid. It is in Cancer in the 12th house. I feel like, I don't know, it could have been early childhood where you felt not completely nurtured, and you might have been in the most perfect family in the world, but it was some kind of nurturing that you felt like you didn't receive, or something that was, you know, not copacetic with you when it came to that.
Yeah.
And also in the 12th house, it could be really having trouble connecting to the universe and source, where it's hard, right?
Yeah.
Because you're worried about this and that. It's like, I really think that it's important for you to have an altar, have a sacred space for yourself where you can put your things, spiritual things, crystals, things that mean something to you. Have all that information, or have that stuff there. Create a Akashic record around it, so you go there twice a day. You go there to at night to decompress, in the morning to feel alive. So, and it's really, like I said, about letting the stuff go that no longer serves you. So maybe tonight, with this new moon, or I'm sorry, full moon in Aries, It's looking at your sense of self and saying, you know what, the stuff that annoys me and doesn't serve me, I'm going to let that shit go. Does this all make sense to you?
Yeah, like more like let go of like my past. A
Right.
lot of like
Let go of
regret stuff.
the stuff that, because you didn't come here to make money. You came here to let stuff go, to get into the spiritual aspect and to trust in the universe, and to transform, and once you transform you, then you could pay it forward and help others on their journey.
Okay.
I mean, there's so much more I could tell you, but I mean, we have limited time tonight. I have
Yeah.
2 minutes before my show is over, but
No.
it's a very short show. But I just wanted to give you a tidbit of all of this. And if you ever want to go further, my website is mmastroVibes.com, and we can look at all the planetary alignments in your chart and take it from there.
All right. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna do that tonight.
Yep,
Very
exactly.
helpful.
Thank you so much, Angela, and you have a wonderful evening.
Bye.
And like I said, I mean, I just wanted to reiterate, full moons are about releasing things. I tell all my clients, never start anything new on a full moon, never start a business, never start maybe a relationship. It's really about endings, about letting stuff go that no longer serves you. You want to start things more on a new moon. New moon represents new beginnings. So tonight's assignment for all my listeners is to really just let things go that no longer, that, like I said, that annoy you, that no longer serve you, and step into being the best and most productive version of you that you can be. So that's what I wanted to tell you about tonight's full moon. And I look forward to seeing everybody next week. And the whole purpose is to tell everybody what's going on in that week. So thank you very much, and have a beautiful and blessed evening.